Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining this short presentation on Love Your Gut, Boost Your Brain, and the Power of Brussels Sprouts. My name is Jessica Teeling. I am the co-director of the GIBA network, and I'm going to talk to you about why the sprout is a powerhouse. So when we think about the Brussels sprouts, you think lovely, delicious, shredded in a salad with a bit of pickled walnuts, a bit of bacon. It's really Christmas. I love it. I love it. I love it. But you could also be in this group. He said, "Oh, no, not for me. It's bitter. It smells, makes you fart. Not something that I would really like." However, when you're a scientist like we are, you think of the Brussels sprout in a very different way. First of all, we don't call them the sprouts, we call them the Brassica oleracea. We know that this little green powerhouse is full of chemicals such as glucosinolates and sulforaphane. So the word sulforaphane is already telling us that these might be a little bit smelly, with sulfur being the smell of sulfur. But there's also lots of fiber in these little green veggies and full of folate. And folate is very important for generating homocysteine, which is a B vitamin, and is very important for maintaining barrier health, including your gut and also your brain. It's full of antioxidants, and the chemicals that are produced and are highly enriched in these green vegetables are anti-inflammatory. So we think, as scientists, we think about it in a very different way. They're delicious, but they also have very good beneficial effects. So when we think about the beneficial effects, I have to introduce the gut immune brain axis. This is a very simplified version where the gut connects to the brain through the blood, but also to a nervous system. The gut also has its own nervous system, and through signals, chemical signals and biological signals, the brain and the gut are in communication with each other. Now, when we zoom in a little bit into the gut, you'll see this layer of different components. So the gut is full of microbes. And so the microbiota is full of bacteria, viruses, beneficial bacteria, and there's a layer of mucus, and that protects the inside of the gut with full of bacteria and microbes from our blood. In our blood, we can find immune cells and blood cells. And so we can sort of look at it that this is us, this is you and me and the immune system, and this is them, the microbiota. And in between is this gut barrier full of mucus. Now, you can also think a little bit about it as, a barrier that needs to protect ourselves from harmful events. And I was at an immunology conference earlier this month, and somebody showed this really interesting analogy, and I'd like to use that as my example too. So here we've got the barman, and we've got here the drinks, and these might represent the microbes. And here is the barrier, the bar itself. And then we've got our immune cells. And they have to be separated. But what is very interesting is that the gut cells and the gut microbes, they are able to process signals from our diet, and our immune system benefits from that enormously. So we've got this mucus layer, we've got the gut barrier and epithelial cells, and then we've got our immune cells. And to keep those immune cells happy, and as this is a little bit of a Christmas talk, we need to make sure they are in contact with the microbes. So here we are at the diagram again. We've got the microbes here, and we've got you and me and immune cells, and we've got the sprouts. So after eating the sprouts are in the digestive system. They end up in the middle, inside of the gut, and the microbes are able to process this vegetable in various different ways. And so they can use the fiber that's present in these sprouts, and through processing, the bacteria can process these fibers, and our immune system cannot do it themselves. We can't do it ourselves. We need bacteria to do that for us. We can generate these so-called short-chain fatty acids. These are very, very small fatty-like molecules that can bind to receptors on immune cells, and they keep our immune system suppressed and anti-inflammatory. So the fiber gives us an immediate immune suppressive protective effect. The sulforaphane, which is the chemical that makes the vegetable a bit smelly, has antioxidant effect, and that's also protective against inflammation. And then we've got folate, which is part of the B vitamins. So through processing of the vegetables, the microbes will allow the immune system to be under control, but it also helps to keep the barriers intact. And so there's a wonderful collaboration between the microbiota, our diet, and our immune system. That's not all, because the immune system also talks to the brain. And if you have an healthy immune system with reduced inflammation, the blood sends signals to the brain that keeps the brain happy as well. I also mentioned the gut itself has a nervous system, and they also pick up signals, and through neuronal communication, this also helps to keep the brain happy and healthy. Now, if you don't have a healthy microbiota, or you don't have the anti-inflammatory effect of our diet, you might be at higher risk of dementia, mood, anxiety, and depression. So keeping your immune cells regulated and reduced inflammation has a great benefit to our brain function. And if you do not like sprouts, you can eat broccoli, which also has high levels of fiber and those chemicals, those smelly vegetables, and cabbage is another example. So if you do not like sprouts, you can really diversify your diet and still have the benefits of them. Now, as it is Christmas, you might think the whole brain is green, with green vegetables, a happy immune system, happy brain. You might think that looks like the Grinch. Now, next time when it is Christmas and you come across the Grinch, maybe think a little bit about the Christmas spirit and think of the Grinch as those lovely little sprouts and those happy, healthy immune systems that they provide. And I wish you all a very happy Christmas, and I hope this talk will give you some idea on why vegetables are healthy, and that a healthy microbiome and a healthy immune system keeps our brains healthy. Merry Christmas.